Ahoy and welcome back to another video. I have my friend Craig here. I think Craig, you've been on the channel once. We did an unboxing video after the convention we went to, uh,
Oh yeah, that's
like in
right.
October or something like that. Um, and also, for some people, you might know me from Craig's channel. We have a podcast, Generations Behind, every 2 weeks. But today, I have stolen Craig over here because he is a big Undertale fan, and I, for the first time in my life, have finally played Undertale. Um,
Very, very exciting. One of the greatest games ever made.
it was very good. And for some context, the main premise of this video is I wanted to play Undertale before Deltarune came out. I want to play Deltarune on the Switch 2 when it comes out next week. And I just kind of wanted to talk about Undertale with no real goal in mind. This video could be 8 minutes long. It could be 3.5 hours long. I have no idea what's about to happen here. Just kind of a free flow conversation about Undertale. I knew Craig's a big Undertale person. Want to get him on. So Craig, I guess start off. I just said I played it for the first time. When did you first play Undertale? What is your history with it?
Um, Whenever the week that it came out was, I was a very early adopter for Undertale. If anybody remembers this old YouTuber, Commander Holly, she was married to another YouTuber, Rubber Ross, who was part of the channel Game Grumps, which many people probably know. So, kind of escalating up the ladder of how you might know these people. She used to do Let's Plays long, long ago, and she played Undertale at launch, and that's how I heard about this game. And I remember the premise right off the bat was hey, you should play this blind, so don't even watch this yet. Everyone says you should play this game with as little knowledge as possible, and then come back and watch the Let's Play. And I actually didn't end up watching her Let's Play at all. I just took her advice and played the game myself.
Yep.
And I think that it is one of the best made and most entertaining pieces of media ever made. So I feel kind of cool that I was on the Undertale
On
train
the ground
early
floor.
on, just because. Yeah, exactly. Because it became one of those things that was so big that everyone hated it just because it was popular. They're sick of hearing about it. They're sick of seeing it everywhere. And I was able to get into it before it got to that point. And it was I played it multiple times before it got to that point, and it stayed at that peak popularity for probably almost 2 or 3 years, where it was the indie game of all time essentially. When
Yep.
people thought of indie games, they thought of Undertale. I feel I feel like that's a little bit of gamer cred on my side playing this
Sure.
game, right, pretty close to release, and I've always just been a big fan of it, and a big defender of it for the people that don't like it. So
Yeah. So for some context, I I don't think I'm the kind of person that I try not to be the person that just dislikes things because they're popular. I've played Fortnite. I've had my time with Call of Duty. I've played all the big popular things. I'm not a hater of things because they're popular, but for some reason, Undertale was one of those games where it's I feel like it was everywhere for a while. I was always seeing stuff about Undertale. Everyone was saying you should play Undertale. This, that's incredible. And for some reason, I just always avoided it. I knew I would like it. I didn't have a good reason why I didn't play it. And then it got to the point where I was it just became one thing on the backlog of shame. And it's I'll get to it one day. I just need an excuse. And luckily, I finally got that excuse to actually go ahead and play it. And I feel silly now because I did very much enjoy it. It was as good as, it deserved all the hype and attention it had got. And I don't know. I don't know why I was so weird about this game in particular, putting it off all this time. But everyone talks about it's a really quirky, interesting, weird game with the writing and stuff. And I was I guess I had thoughts that I would be maybe that was overblown. I didn't want to ruin that for myself. It's not gonna be as good as everyone says. But I've only played through the game one time, and I know I've seen other stuff about the game, but everything I experienced in the game was genuinely very funny and very well written, and I enjoyed it. And it was more lore than I expected. I didn't realize the game would be have an actual story. I thought it was all just a joke. That was all one big joke story.
yeah,
So that
I
was a little
think that's a
surprising.
part of the problem. Is a lot of people started to just think that it was a meme game, and that was
That's kind of what I thought. I thought it was just a big
what there
meme.
was to it. And there's so much more depth to it. It's there's many serious moments, there's many heartfelt moments. It just happens to also be very funny.
Yeah.
And I think that people stuck to that part because I think it's hard to nail humor in video games. There's not many funny video games, but Undertale is one of the true funny video games in my opinion.
Yeah, I think most funny video games to me aren't like due to the writing. It's just from like stupid crap in the game. Like we talked
Yeah.
about Mario 64. Was it last week now? Just like that game's funny because Mario makes like funny noises and like does stupid stuff. But like there obviously like there's no writing in that game. But like a game that has like funny writing is hard to do. Um, but like yeah, I think you kind of like light bulb went off my head there. I think I thought this game was a meme the whole time. I didn't. I thought that was my perception of the game. Was I didn't realize it had an actual story and like depth to it. It was just a big joke game with sans. But I don't know.
And so much of the the like the deeper story, the deeper lore, is a lot of it can just be very easily missed. There's so much to this game. If you do a blind casual playthrough, front to end, is probably less than a 5-6 hour experience. And there's so much optional stuff, so much optional dialogue, so many things that you'd never see, depending on what you do or don't do throughout the game, that adds so much to the world and the lore within it. So it's easy to miss a lot of the story, even though there's still a front to back story. It's just like it's like blind playthrough. You don't know what you're doing. You just kind of go through it. Compared to like doing everything, it's like
Yep.
quadrupled in size in terms of like what there is to actually see and learn about the world.
Yeah. So I guess just for basic premise for anyone who hasn't played Undertale, I guess just to kind of get a base level understanding. In this world, there was a war in the past between like humans and monsters, and I believe just the humans won the war, and the monsters are all like in this underground place. Is it called the Underground? Is that what it's literally called?
I think so. Yeah, it's
yeah.
they're sealed down there. I don't remember the exact name. But...
Yeah, but they're down there, and then your player character ends up down there, and you're walking around in this underworld trying to get out of the. It's not the tunnels. It's like the sewers, the tunnels, damn it. They give it a name right at the beginning. I can't remember it, but yeah, you're down here with all these monsters and you're talking with them, and I don't know. I just decided to start killing people. I don't know if that makes me a bad person, but I just started.
It's your natural instinct, right?
My natural instinct. I got to kill the monsters, right? Yeah, right at the beginning. Who's the mom that saves you? The mom. Toriel, yeah. So Toriel saves you. She brings you to her house, and she's like she's welcoming to you, and you're like, oh, maybe these monsters aren't all bad. Maybe they, this war shouldn't have happened. Maybe they're, blah blah. And she made me a pie, and then she's like, you shouldn't go out there. You're gonna get hurt. And then I killed her, and I think I got the point. I was like, oh, people are bad. People just kill things. Oh, I think I lost you, Craig. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Can you see? Okay.
Yeah, you're good. You froze for a second on my end. But yeah, I remember it was a funny moment. I was texting you that I had just made it to Toriel or whatever, and she's like, you can like call her on the phone, and you can like accidentally call her mom. I did. And then like 5 minutes later, I killed her, and I just texted you. I think I just killed my mom, and it was just.
I believe my text was just "you monster."
You monster. So I guess for my understanding, like what would have happened if I just didn't like go through that? Can you just spare her and then she's alive? And then what? You just go about your day? Do you keep going through the game? Does the game end? What happens?
Yeah, she lets you go eventually if you keep sparing her.
Sure. Okay. And then
really that part of the game is kind of a test in a way because you have to spare her like a lot, like over and over and over, and you think that nothing is happening. So I think the game's and the way I always viewed it is the game is testing your patience to be like, you don't have to, you don't need to use violence to get through all these situations, because you'll do the spare over and over, and it takes a lot of tries before she finally just gives up and lets you go away anyway.
Yeah. So the way the combat in this game works, you have it kind of like what you think of for like Dragon Quest, an old Dragon Quest game, or like Earthbound. You have like an enemy on the screen in front of you, and then you have a selection of options. So it's like attack. I think it's attack. Mercy. Is item an option? I think item, and there's something else. But then when you hit attack, you have a little like meter that like works its way across the screen, and you have to time your input to hit the meter as close to the middle as possible, and you'll hit the enemy. And then when they attack you, there's a little square in the middle of the screen, and your heart, and you move around kind of like a bullet hell, and you dodge the attacks they're sending at you.
One of the most creative battle systems, I think, in an RPG ever.
Super cool. I did not realize how
Excellent.
cool it was. But for the context with the sparing thing that Craig was talking about, one of the options is if an enemy's name is like highlighted yellow, I believe, you can choose to spare them rather than just kill them, and that will end the fight and not kill the monster. I never did that. Every time I had the option to kill something, I just killed it. I decided about like once I realized I had killed some of the characters, I was like, maybe I should just be a killer this whole time. There's no point in sparing things now. I've already killed several people. But yeah, the game doesn't make you feel good about it. It kind of makes you feel bad about it by the end.
Yeah, they definitely make you feel bad about it.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't realize because like so right after you kill your mom or Tori or whatever his name is, you meet Sans, who I thought Sans was like the main character of this game. I thought he'd be around the whole time. I thought he'd be following me around. I thought at one point I was like, maybe he's my buddy. I don't know. I knew nothing about Sans other than he's like the guy for Undertale. But you meet him right front with his brother Papyrus. And that was a really funny gag. Papyrus and Sans have different fonts for all their text in the game, all their dialogue, which was a very funny joke.
Very goofy.
And it's obviously in the font.
Only two.
It's in the font of their Sans and Papyrus.
Did you get the joke with Toriel's name too?
I guess not. Is it tutorial?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a pun on tutorial.
Tutorial, yeah. I didn't get it until you just mentioned it, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, so like Sans, it's kind of funny. So Papyrus wants to be like a knight of like the royal guard or something like that, and he wants to find a human, like capture a human for the king or whatever. And Sans is like, hey man, my brother's kind of dumb. Can you make it look like he caught you, or can you just play along with him or something? I thought that was very funny. And then Papyrus keeps like failing to capture you through these like, stupid traps, and you just keep like getting away. I thought it was very funny. And then
I like when you hide behind the lamp that's conveniently shaped exactly like your character model.
That was very funny. Also, it even like says like conveniently shaped lamp or whatever. There's some of like some of my favorite writing in the game wasn't the dialogue. It was the drab like descriptive text. Like later Papyrus like tries to trap you with like a bowl of spaghetti or something, and it's like, this is a very cold bowl of spaghetti or something. It's like bolted to the table, something stupid. But just the way it like just describes things, it was very funny to me.
A lot of random flavor text.
A lot of random flavor text. Another one of my favorites is inside of a building. There was a fire. Was it a fire escape door? And it's like, you cannot use this because you are not a fire. Like, you cannot escape through this door because you are not a fire. I was like, it's just stupid. But this stuff's all over the place, and it like really adds this like level of charm to it. Like I said, the game is funny, and just like not just dialogue, just like everything, all the circumstances you're in are very silly, and just the way you interact with things it was very funny in my opinion. But
yeah, it's one thing I've always said about Toby Fox that I think is great, is he thinks about everything that you could think to do. So it's like basically anything you could interact with or anything that you think might have an effect on something does, because he made sure to think of it first. It's very smart in that way.
Yep.
Everything you do, everything you decide, everything you'd say to somebody has some sort of like reverberating effect on it.
Yeah, it's like
I also like, one of my favorite examples, is when you go, there's this random sign somewhere when you're in like this beginning snowy area where you click on it, and when you read signs, usually you click on, click off in the sun, right? Because it's just quick in and out. So you click really fast on the sign, it says dog wedding here, and then you're like, wait, what? So you click again, and it says, yeah, you read that right.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was one of the funniest things.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like it's the way the game is set up is like he is setting it up in a way where he knows you're going to interact with it, and it's like, what would be a funny way? What's like a fourth wall break where if I'm on the other side of the screen, what would I say to this? And he's like responding back and forth to himself. I don't know, it's very strange, but it
One
makes
thing.
for
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say one thing. Also, we talked about how you accidentally killed, or not accidentally, but you just killed Toriel.
I kill everyone.
And,
Let me be clear.
the average person, would probably be like, oh, maybe I didn't have to do that. Maybe I'll try again and see if I could do something different, right? So if you restart your game and you try to go fight Toriel again, she'll be gone, and you go to the next screen and Flowey's like, you can't undo that. I saw that.
Yeah.
Like, he's
funny.
like, you have to live with the decisions that you made. Sorry, bud, keep going. She's already dead. And I always thought that was fascinating because it's like I said, he thinks of everything. He thinks like, oh shoot, maybe there's a way to not kill her, but it's too late now. Now you have to deal with that consequence. The way that the game saves is the game saves automatically without telling you often too, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I guess I didn't experience that. I killed her and I was like, well,
Oh,
okay,
well.
I guess I'm gonna kill people. Yeah, then you meet. Yeah, I forgot to say it, but before you meet Sans and Papyrus, you do meet Flowey, which is just a evil flower that's like just out there, and he's like, what does it say? It's like kill or be killed. I think it's what he keeps saying.
Yeah, at the beginning when he's like, oh, look at these pellets that'll fly towards your heart. Touch them; they'll give you life.
Yep.
And did you let them hit you, or did you avoid them?
I think I let them hit me, and then he's like, "You idiot! You fell for it," or something. He like makes funny.
It's even better if you dodge it. He gets all annoyed. He's like, "Are you stupid?" He's like, "I said to let them hit you. Stop moving."
Yeah. Yeah. So, what does it say? You when you enter these battles, you get experience. But what does it call it? It calls it something else. You level up your love stat, which I guess is like your level LV, which is the heart. The way even the stats are named in funny ways. They're not like just like level and attack and health. It's like they're funny little like plays on all that. I guess just talk about some of the characters. I really liked Sans and Papyrus. I liked Papyrus too. It was kind of like a sad dog when I killed him. I don't know, I felt bad when I killed him.
Why did you kill him?
Because I don't know. It's like I started fighting him, and I just like.
You didn't even get to go on a date with him. He takes you back to his house.
Damn it! That's so funny. So
you get to see all the funny little things inside of his house. You go to click on his trash can, and he says, "This is my trash can. Feel free to visit it anytime you like."
No, I brutally killed him, and I just went about my day. Yeah, the game's separate. I didn't realize it's literally just like small chunks. It's like 4 areas that end in a boss every time, and each of these bosses, I'm assuming you can just not kill them. But I went about my day killing all of them. And then after you kill Papyrus, Sans just kind of disappears for a while. I thought he would be with you the whole game, but he's just kind of gone until much later in the game. And where do you go after Papyrus? You end up going. Is it the sewer, or no
the waterfall?
The waterfall, yeah. And that was. I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to recall back. I just played this game like a week ago. I'm already getting it blurred together. But there's that other character that's following you around there that like wants to be your friend, the little yellow guy, who like is like interested in you being there, and you're being like hunted down by like a knight, who you later find out is like you later find out is Undyne, and she's like shooting like spears at you from the sky, and you're just kind of like running away from it the whole time. That was a fun little experience. I didn't think I was actually going to get to fight her, but yeah, she had a really cool boss fight as well. Where
Great song too.
Oh, dude, the music the whole time is so good. I obviously I'm familiar with what's a Megalovania, because that's
the
just
most,
like
streamed video game song of all time on Spotify.
Exactly, that song's like everywhere. Like Pope Francis came out to that song one time, whatever it was. Just insane moment. But I didn't realize like the music is good like the whole time. It's not just like one song. It's like every song's really, really good. And I feel like it's not just beeps and boops either. It's like really like well thought out, like good music.
is excellent, and it's all made by Toby Fox, so
Yeah, I mean,
he
I
composes
guess
all himself too.
I guess it makes sense why Game Freak had him make music for like Pokemon. It's like, okay, this guy's just good
Yeah.
at music. But
No, yeah, he's almost arguably a better composer than he is a video game designer, which is an insane compliment. Like, I don't mean that
yeah,
in any way
you suck,
disrespect.
Toby Fox.
No, he's my hero. But no, his music is incredible. Throughout the entire game, there's so much good music. I have so many of those songs saved on like my playlist and stuff I've been listening to for years and years and never got tired of them.
Well, can I be honest with you? The reason why I even thought to play Undertale and wanted to play Deltarune is because I just really liked the music from the trailer that they released for the Switch 2 Chapter 3 and 4 trailer. I don't know what the music in that trailer was just like, oh, that's a really good song. And I kept watching the trailer to listen to the music. And I was like, I kind of want to play this game. And then like, it's crazy how like just a good song in a 1-minute trailer forced me to go back and play a previous game just so I can play this upcoming game.
His music's just that good.
His music's very good. Yeah. Man, let's talk about, I guess, I can talk about the Undyne fight, I guess, a little bit. I thought that was,
sure.
I thought it was really cool how she was like refusing to die, and the game was like, I feel like the game was like breaking the fourth, like it kept looking like the battle was going to end, and she just kept like pulling out all the stops to keep staying alive. It's a little bit longer. And she was kind of badass, and then I just kind of killed her with a frying pan. I think I was using the kitchen frying pan at that point. But I don't know. What is her role if you don't kill her? Because like what does she do? Because she's like she's a knight for the king, right? That's what I'm understanding.
Yeah,
She's
pretty much
supposed
trying to do what Papyrus is doing, trying to
to
capture
take you
you
in
as well. But
Yeah.
she actually is like the knight for the king, so
Yeah. So if you just don't kill Undyne, she just lets you keep going, or what? How do you talk out? How do you talk away?
So eventually, when you run away from her, before you end up, she follows you all the way to the next area, which is the lava area.
The lava area, yeah.
And then she starts to like lie on the floor dying because she's a fish. But there's that water cooler there, so you could bring her some water from the water cooler, and then she.
Is that what the water cooler's for?
Yeah, so you could save her.
Okay.
Fucking monster.
Because
Make a fish fillet out of her.
Yeah, you show up at this lava area and there's just a water cooler. It's like, take a glass of water. I'm like, sure. And I started walking with it, and I was like, I don't know what this is for. That's so funny. It's for her because she's a fish.
Yeah, that was to save her. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so awesome. I didn't get any of that. You know what else I didn't?
I'm telling you.
I took a snowball from a snowman in the first area, and he's like, bring this somewhere, I don't know, to help me be a snowman. So I don't know what he said. I just ate the snowball. I just ate it in a battle. I didn't care about that snowman. I don't know what that's supposed to do. But
oh man,
I was just kind of a dick on my first run. I killed people. I didn't help anyone. But
I'm telling you, you have to do a good run before you play Deltarune. Otherwise, I don't think you'll even really appreciate Deltarune. I really don't.
I have like watched that fight. I've like kind of know what happens. I need to watch it again because I'm realizing I had seen the last boss. Like when I got to the last boss of the game, I feel like at some point in my life I have watched. I think it was probably the freaking completionist video is what it was when he did a video over Undertale like however many years ago. Because I some of the stuff was ringing a bell to me, and I feel like I had seen some of these bosses, even though I had no context for what they were, or what was going on. But I know I was being bad, but there's a whole level of bad, like the genocide bad, where you kill literally every random encounter, every single monster possible. And that's an ending with like you get to fight Sans at the end. Spoiler alert. And then there is the other thing you're mentioning, the good route, the pacifist route, where you kill no one. And that's like, is that like the true ending you'd say for the game?
Yes.
So that's like,
and the true ending is connected to Deltarune. That's why I say you
Yep.
got to do a good route as well.
Yeah. So I guess so. The last boss in the main run that I did was the king. And what do you recall the name of the king? He's a big like goat.
Asgore.
Asgore. He sounds evil, but he's just like a big wide goat man. I don't know. Are they goats? Is that is that what you classify them as?
Yeah, I'm just sad thinking about it. I love Asgore. Great character.
Really cool boss fight when he's like, because like he's being respectful of you. Like you get there and he's like, I guess we gotta kill each other. Like that's kind of how this goes.
But that's one of my favorite lines in any game ever. Is when you get to him and he's like, I wish I could offer you a cup of tea right now.
Yeah, he's just like this nice guy.
I
but
love
like,
that.
You know
I
you've
love
gotta
that.
you've gotta go at it. And then when it's like when they decide when he decides like it's time to go, he like does the cape thing. And the coolest one of the coolest one of the coolest moments in the game, he gets like his big like trident not tri-tip spear, like trident. That's what it's called. And he scrolls over and just destroys your mercy button, which is just such a cool moment.
Yes.
I saw that a few times.
I
died on him several times. But...
Like, I love that Undertale isn't afraid to be a video game, right?
Oh yeah,
like, I love the constant fourth wall breaking, but not being obnoxious about it. It adds so much to the experience.
And it was like in doing it in a cool way too, like just literally smashing your mercy button was such a cool moment. Yeah, Asgore kicked my ass a few times. The animation of
him pulling the trident out of the cape is just so cool.
Yep.
That's some of the coolest looking sprite work I've ever seen in my life.
Yep. Yeah, that fight was pretty hard for me. It took me a few tries, so I got to enjoy that cool moment several times. I didn't fight Sans because I didn't do a Genesis type run, but I did look up like the Sans fight, and Sans basically when you get to Sans at the end of the game, right before you get to Asgore, Sans is standing there in this hallway, and he's just like, "You're a piece of shit. Like you killed my brother." He's judging you. He's like, "You killed my brother. Blah blah. You deserve to die." And if you go the full,
he probably wasn't nice to you in that moment either, just because of all the people you killed on the way there.
He was not nice to me. He was not nice to me.
Exactly.
But I
did you go to dinner with Sans at some point?
I did not. You can go to dinner with Sans. I didn't know that.
Okay, I was gonna say I think that scene isn't in there if you kill Papyrus. So there's like a whole cut scene where you go to dinner and talk to him, and he reveals like he kind of like knows like what's going on, like in terms of like he knows the world he's in, like he knows it's a video game too, like all this other kind of stuff, and but you don't see any of that if you piss him off and kill his brother. So
yeah, I knew you were telling me like this game deserves like more than one playthrough. I have missed a lot. Clearly, I mean, when you said I missed a date with Papyrus, that was I should have just stopped.
I'm telling you, it's one of the funniest parts of that game.
I should have stopped recording right now. Yeah, stop the show and just gone and done that.
And go on a date with Papyrus.
Yeah, the Sans fight when he starts, he's like, you deserve to be in hell or something like that. And the fight just starts. And it's like this crazy opening move that like, unlike anything else in the game, just like a crazy bullet hell, just like all this random crap, like dodging it. That fight looks awful.
It has been 9.5 years since the game has come out, and I still can't beat it. I've never been able to do it.
Yeah, it looks tough.
I've beaten, a regular kind of whatever run. I've beaten the good route, but I could never beat Sans. I just don't have it in me. I'm not good enough with bullet hells to do it. I've played that. I've probably put just 10 hours into that boss fight, and I've never been able to do it. It's so hard.
And it's funny, too, because that's like the first time in the game I've seen, like, when you attack, he just dodges it, and he's like, you just thought I was going to let you hit me? And that fight is just like a gauntlet of you missing Sans, and then him not killing you.
And avoiding him.
Yeah, and then eventually, it's really funny that you get the little square, and you just like push it over to the side, and you like hit the attack button when he's not paying attention. You like stab him, which that was kind of dark, but Sans.
Fun fact too about the Sans boss fight: if you examine him, his flavor text is attack 1, speed 1, defense 1. He can't dodge forever. So he's canonically the weakest enemy in the game because he has the lowest possible stats.
Interesting, but he just dodges you the whole time. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, so what happens to Sam when you stab him? Does he die or does he just go away?
Yes. No,
So
he actually does die.
He does die. And does the game, when you beat Sans, do you have to go then fight Asgore, or does the game just end there?
Mm-hmm. Nope, you still have to fight Asgore.
Okay, cool. And is there any like difference there?
And it's very, I'm trying to remember because it's been so long, but I do think it's funny because for the genocide route you have to kill everything, right? Every single thing. You could actually still choose to spare Asgore, even after all that, and then Flowey like blows up on you. He's like, "You made it this far and you didn't finish the job."
That's so funny.
Mm-hmm. So you could even ruin a genocide route if you want to, and get a different ending based off of that.
Yeah, I remember that's another thing about this game. I remember there's like a dozen endings. There's like so many endings, like different little variations.
And really, most of them, there's really only like 3 that matter. It's just like kind of like a neutral-ish run, the pacifist route, the genocide route, and then everything else is just kind of like little flavor text at the end. So
variations.
Most of the endings are kind of whatever. Like you'll get different text based on like, oh, you killed this character and this character, but you let all the rest live, or you killed that character and that character, you let all the rest live. Just kind of text based off of that. So still interesting, but probably not worth an entire playthrough. More that kind of stuff I think is more worth just watching a YouTube video for.
Sure.
For the sake of time.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so I do want to talk in this video a little bit about Deltarune and kind of like lead me to water with Deltarune, get me ready for that. I guess a couple more notes, just things I'm looking at my notes now for like things I didn't mention that I appreciated with Undertale. So kind of backtracking, going back here quick. We talked a little about the combat, about the bullet hellness of the defensive side. I was surprised to see on the offensive side, different weapons have different like little cadences to hit them. Like each weapon has a different like sequence to actually hit with. I thought it was a cool touch. I wasn't expecting that because I saw it was gonna be one bar the whole time. Then I got like the tap dancing shoes or whatever, and it's like tap 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 tap. I thought that was funny. And then you get like so the weapons are like. It's like gloves and then like tap dancing shoes and then like a frying pan and then one's just like a real knife. It's like, oh, like a real knife. Which is like the last weapon you get, which that was funny. But yeah, I guess help me out a little bit on this true ending. So I know the last true ending boss is like the king's child that's like I thought was dead, I think. Am I understanding that right? So it's like the dead.
How many spoilers am I allowed to give you, or do you want to experience some of the stuff for your own still?
No, I think at this point I have no time left. I'm just gonna look this up on YouTube anyway. I'm just gonna go watch the last fight on YouTube. I'm gonna go read plot synopsis. I've already got.
You can't play Deltarune. You can't. I'm sorry.
I want to.
You really shouldn't.
I'm going to look up the plot. I'm just going to watch YouTube videos. I'm going to long play it, like I always do in my moments of weakness. I've got other games I got to finish before the Switch comes out.
Breaking my heart. You're missing out on so much.
I'm sure I am.
It's such an experience.
But
you're robbing yourself.
Well, I'm going to play Deltarune. I'm going to play Deltarune in less than a week, and that's what I'm excited for.
But why wouldn't you just play Undertale first?
Because I've got other stuff I've got to play first. Haven't you heard of Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo, damn it?
I have, thanks to you. I never knew it existed until today.
Yeah.
On your new video on your channel. But, no, it's... I mean, I can't tell you what to do. You can do whatever you want, right? It's your life. If you want to ruin Undertale for yourself, that's okay. But it's like, I'm not trying to be like an a-hole or anything.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be an asshole about it, but I really do think that you're robbing yourself of one of the best video game experiences of all time to rush to the sequel. And personally, I don't see a point in doing that, because Deltarune's not going anywhere.
So you're saying I just need to do a pacifist run?
When you play Deltarune...
You're saying just do a pacifist run?
At least, of the game. Because that canon ending has ties to Deltarune. And really, when you're going to play Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4, you're playing Deltarune Chapter 1 and 2 first, which are also games that are 5 and 3 years old already. So you're already still playing an old game on the launch day of the Switch, too.
That's true.
So you're already going to be behind, even if you start Deltarune on June 4th.
Well... But what if I play
as well...
What if I played through all of Deltarune and I was done with it by like June 6th and I was a cool kid and I had played the newest thing?
I guess, but I don't know.
But yeah,
It's your life. You can do
how
whatever
about
you
this?
want.
Is
But I really
Deltarune,
think
is Deltarune a prequel or a sequel to Undertale? Is it
Sequel.
it's a sequel. Okay, so it takes place after the events of Undertale.
Yeah, if you don't kill Toriel, she's in Deltarune.
No way. Does the game
Yeah.
tie over at all? Like, does it take like save data like from like Undertale to
Not that
Deltarune
I
Chapter
know
1?
of.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of.
So it goes with the assumption that you went the pacifist route, like people are alive.
Yeah, because there's characters from it.
Okay, so like the
Like in
pacifist
more
route
than
is like
just Toriel.
like the canon route is the pacifist route. Those characters are alive in Deltarune. Okay.
And Undertale is also just a game that's meant to be played more than once anyway. You can't
Yeah.
get the true pacifist route on a first run. You have to play the game at least twice to get it anyway.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought you could just from the start. Interesting.
And
So-
because of the way you did it, you actually missed out on one of the on the actual final boss of a first playthrough that you'll never experience now if you go for a pacifist route next, which is also interesting. So
my last boss. So after you kill,
With Asgore, right?
No, I fought Flowey after that.
did you? Okay.
Yeah, I fought
Okay,
the
good.
weird
I thought that you missed Flowey. Okay.
that like crazy tripping out. I don't even know what was going on in that fight. I
Yeah,
couldn't
just
tell
made
if I
out
was
of real textures.
I couldn't tell if I was losing or winning. It just starts throwing nonsense at you, and you're like constantly like healing and like exploding it and killing it, and then it's like
And the
tripping
game
out.
basically does save states to trip you out, so it keeps
Oh
pulling
yeah,
you
it like
back when you
it,
dodge.
like deletes
Awesome.
your save and like does the weird like
So good.
screen glitch out. It was
It's great.
I didn't know what was going. I was on a plane. Well, I was playing this for context on a plane, and I'm like sitting there like half like I'm like tired, like jet lagged. Like what's going on right now? I'm scared. Like I don't like it was
You're
just.
like, is this the same game?
Is it? Am I losing it? Do I need to take a nap?
That's so funny.
Yeah, the ending of it, and then the game just kind of like ends. It just like it's over after that.
Which is part of the hint that you're supposed to be playing it more than once too. So
Yeah. Okay, so does this game? I guess help me out here. When you play the game on a second run, does the game know it's a second run of the game? Is it self-aware? It's like self-aware you're playing it again. Okay. So it's like a new game plus where it's like it's wanting you to keep going and it's acknowledging that you've done things in the past and you're doing it differently now. Interesting.
And there's a bunch of side quests that open up too that you have to do to lead to the true pacifist ending. So like you basically gotta become buddies with everybody too, on top of not killing them. So
Interesting.
like
Okay.
each main character that you have like a fight with at some point, you have like you basically have like an additional quest to do with them too.
Interesting. So it's just more content on the second run.
So it's
So
not
you-
like you're just playing it again.
What you're saying is I haven't even beat Undertale. I just really haven't even beat Undertale then.
And that's what I've been telling you, but I don't think you believed me until now.
I saw credits. The game went through. It said game by Toby Fox, and then I turned the game
Did you
off.
meet Temmie at least?
Which one's Temmie?
The little dog.
I don't remember a dog.
They own a shop. Yeah, they're like in a off the beaten path area, the waterfall area.
Maybe I don't know. I went to lots of shops.
You could contribute to her college fund.
I definitely didn't contribute to anyone's college fund. No one's college fund. I helped nobody. Like I said, I ate that snowman snowball to benefit myself.
Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, I was just kind of a dick the whole time. Okay, so you can't do a full pacifist run the first time. Can you do a full genocide run the first time?
Yes.
Okay, you can do that. Okay, interesting.
But to do that, you have to do what you did. But you have to grind as well, essentially. So you have to stay in the same area and keep fighting random encounters until enemies stop appearing.
Yeah, like literally says
what'll
like, but no
happen-
one came or whatever. Yeah, that was a cool. I didn't know that because I thought when I made the decision to start killing people, I knew somewhere in the back of my mind, I was like, I feel like one of the endings is like kill everyone. So like I'm gonna do that. But I didn't realize you have to literally walk around and grind and kill every single random mob that exists. You have to like take them all out. And that was just, I just wasn't aware of that. That's pretty neat. You have to be just a monster. You know, terrible tail person.
Something I like about it is it's not fun. When you're running around trying to get random encounters like that, the encounters in this game aren't that frequent, right?
No, they're not. I thought they were. I thought they were staged. I thought they were staged.
So you're running around in circles for like over an hour sometimes in the same area, funny. Trying to get enemies to appear to kill them because, you're killing people. It's not supposed to be fun. You shouldn't feel proud.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So the game like makes you feel like kind of an asshole, and then when you go to shops, people either won't be there or they'll be a dick to you because they know that you're a terrible person. So
yeah. There's a character in this game that we did not talk about that I just remembered. There's a couple people. The little dinosaur person who is
Alfies.
Yeah, he wants to go on a date with you. He is attracted to you or something. I don't know what's going on. He's really nervous to talk to you on the phone, but you keep hearing his chatter. No, it's
she, by the way.
She. I'm sorry. Yes, she.
Yeah, Alphys.
Her
she
social media
texts
app.
you about her anime.
Yeah, in the social media app, and she's like, I'm gonna talk to them and yada yada, and you're just getting all these notifications, and you just keep looking at it. It's so funny.
And it's every 5 steps. It's more than enemy random encounters. It's great.
And then you get to the point where I get to make a decision where it's what was the decision? If I if I want to be friends with her, or if I just said something very not what was it? It was do you like being friends, or should I just get the very boring answer I'm sorry, we'll just be distance. And she was like, okay, I'm sorry, I appreciate it.
She just wanted to be a friend.
But I did feel bad about that one. I kind of shut her down. So even the people I couldn't kill, I was mean to.
So funny.
But
how about your time with Metaton, the robot?
Yeah, I was gonna say you wanted to talk about Metaton. That was a wild sequence of the game.
So funny.
The Metaton is just a invincible robot. It's just putting me through game shows, I guess. Which I thought was pretty funny. You start out
beautiful opera sequence about murdering you. It's so funny.
Yep.
Which is very much a parody of the famous opera scene from Final Fantasy VI. So.
Oh, is that what that was? I didn't realize it was literally.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a parody of that.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, Metaton was a funny little character. It's 3 or 4 sequences. There's the game show. There's one where I feel you have to fly up and dodge bombs or something. And then I don't know, but they were intent on killing me. And can you spare Metaton? Is that possible?
Yes.
Man, I just assumed you couldn't.
And he has 2 great theme songs, one for each form.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Yeah. So he yes.
And he's the boxy robot, and then when he's the very flamboyant.
Yes, and that was I think
dancer.
That was the first time I think I died in the game, was Metaton's second form or true form, whatever that was. That was the first time I actually died. That was a hard fight too. That one got me.
You don't know hard fights yet. You haven't fought Genocide Undyne.
Oh, is that
totally different boss fight?
Interesting.
And it's 10 times harder. It's insanely difficult.
Still not as hard as Sans.
That one also took me a very long time to beat, and it has added mechanics on top of the other boss fight, but because you're being punished, the game doesn't teach you about it. It just throws you into it, so it's just way harder.
I really awesome. Like it. That's a common theme in this game. It's when you are doing bad things, the game is
get punished.
It's punishing. It's being bad to you. It's it's making your life hell and trying to not be fun because you're being a dick, because you're killing everybody, and that is a pretty cool mechanic. But
yeah, it was smart to have a game with a true morality system in a way, right?
Yeah. How many times have you beaten Undertale, would you say?
Honestly, not that many times. Probably 2 or 3 times each for like the standard run and then the pacifist run. And then, like I said, I've never been able to actually finish a genocide run because I can't beat.
But
Sans.
you've gotten all the way to Sans though. You're basically
exactly, and then so I had to just watch the rest online because at one point I just wanted to know, but I couldn't actually get there myself. It's just too hard. I've had that save file on my PlayStation for as long as the PlayStation port has been out. I just can't do it.
Interesting. All right, so more on Deltarune. Let's talk about this a little bit more. This game is coming out in chapters. So for me, a new player, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of these is each of these like a contained story, or like will decisions I make in chapter 1 lead into changes in chapter 2, lead into changes in chapter 3, or is it like you do what chapter 1 is, you do what chapter 2 is, you do what chapter 3 is, and so on?
So, in terms of the grander scale, I don't know yet, right? Because we only have chapter 1 and 2. That's all we had for a long time. Things that you did do in chapter 1 did have an effect in chapter 2.
Okay.
So you could assume that things in chapter 1 and 2 will affect 3 and 4. I'm not sure if like things from chapter 1 will affect things in chapter 4, for example. But I'm sure things will lead into one another.
But it's not just like a silo. It does lead into like changes in the future chapters. Okay, that's cool.
No, yeah, like they're basically their own short game each. Like think of it like TV season. Like chapter 1 and chapter 2 are probably both about 3 to 4 hours long. Like they're decent chunks. So it's not. It's no chump change, and the fact that they're free is crazy too. He hasn't charged for chapter 1 or 2 all these years. He's just now starting to charge for chapter 3 and 4. So
yeah, it's gonna go to like chapter 7 or something. I think
something like that. I don't know the exact number, but I know that's still gonna keep going for a while, and it's taking a long time. But it's like this man doesn't miss, so everyone's kind of like cool with it. Like obviously, Undertale's amazing. When Deltarune was announced, I was actually like, I don't know if we need like more of this like world. Like I thought it was like a perfectly good, concise story. And then chapter 1 came out, and I was like, no. No, this is fire. Actually, I'm like, he was cooking. So
it's just as good as Undertale. It's like same quality.
Honestly, yeah. It's the main thing that makes me sad is your main cast that you're playing with the entire time isn't the characters from the original Undertale. Like they're there, but they're not part of like your party or anything. For example, because there are more. It is a party in Deltarune too. You have more than one character. You're not just one person. So that's also something that's different. But it has the same great humor, same great interesting pixel art and art style, same great writing. So just Toby Fox don't miss, like I said.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
No, I don't know if this is 100% the reason or not, but it is true that Toby Fox knows Shigesato Itoi, the creator of the Mother series, and he asked him if he could make a Mother 4. And Itoi told him, no, make another Undertale. Like, make your own game. Like, Mother is done, do your thing is good. And a part of me is like, I wonder if that's why we got Deltarune. Was because Itoi was like, keep doing your own shit.
Man, that is actually pretty... That's gotta be like... That gotta hit you right in the chest if you're Toby Fox, for Itoi to tell you that.
Because his game development started making Earthbound hacks back in the day, so
yeah,
he was like one of the original like Starmen.net members with like when that website first started way back in the day. So
are there like any direct obvious Easter eggs to like Mother in Undertale Deltarune? Like I know the lamp thing.
Honestly, not that I'm
like there's like a lamp. There's a lamp, and I don't know if I'm just drawing two like lines there that don't actually connect, but like. Because you fight a lamp right at the beginning of Mother 1, and then like you hide behind a lamp in Undertale. I don't know if that was some weird nod or I don't know.
I don't know, honestly. I mean, people have always compared these games, I think just because they know it was a big inspiration on it, but I don't actually think they're very similar. They're both kind of like quirky, funny, and they're both turn-based role-playing games, but other than that, I don't really think that they're very similar. I think that Earthbound is a big inspiration for many indie games, and even games before Undertale, like Lisa and stuff like that, or Space Funeral. I'm probably throwing out shit that no one even knows what it's about. I want to do a video all about Earthbound likes one day, just because I've played almost all of them, and I think that'd be fun.
Yep.
But Earthbound is just a big inspiration for everything, and you could be inspired by something while also not being super similar. Because to me, having humor and also being turn-based, to me doesn't make it like Earthbound, just because those are also qualities that Earthbound has, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've always found that comparison kind of funny, because it's like, yeah, he was inspired by Earthbound, but I'm like, I wouldn't say Undertale is like Earthbound.
I think that's what it is probably just the fact that like people know that Toby Fox, there's like this connection with him and Mother,
strong connection.
so people draw that, because that was my understanding before playing Undertale. I was like, oh, this is just an indie Earthbound. That's what I thought it was, which
Yeah.
it has some notes of it, but
I mean, it's a good way to sell it for people, right? It's going to make
Sure.
people interested in it.
I mean, all those what do they say about Earthbound fans? I can't wait to play Earthbound for the first Earthbound fans can't wait to play Earthbound for the first time.
No one's more guilty of that than Persona fans and Mother fans, just
Yeah.
not playing their own games.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm excited that I'm a part of this. I'm like dipping my toe into this world here. I don't know how I didn't notice this, but someone pointed out I think it was on Blue Sky, that Deltarune is like a palindrome. What is it called when the letters are mixed around of Undertale? Maybe they mentioned that in Undertale. Like they bring up the Deltarune at some point, and I was like, oh, like those words had the same letters. Like, so I thought that was funny.
Yes. Yeah, it's a lot of Undertale and Deltarune. Clever is probably the best way to describe those games, is they're very clever.
Yeah.
More than anything else.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad I finally played it, and maybe I will find a way to get more out of it before the Switch 2 launches. I do want to fully enjoy Deltarune. If I'm missing something, I don't want to miss something. So I will find a way to...
I have a feeling, based off Chapter 1 and 2, it's like you could probably play those, and it's like there'd be characters and you wouldn't probably bat an eye too much, just because it's like they're there, but they're not essential. What's the greater picture of what's going on? But I have a feeling as the game goes on, especially since we have way more chapters to go, I think that there's going to be more connections and maybe more prevalence from characters from the cast of Undertale, if I had to guess.
Will we get another skeleton brother that is a new font?
That'd be awesome.
What font would you like to pick?
Technically, there is a third skeleton brother with a different font, but you wouldn't have come across him, so...
Interesting.
And actually, you will almost never come across him, because I think your chances of running into him are like less than 1 in 100. It's like a totally randomized event, but he speaks in only Wingdings, which is interesting. So,
oh, interesting. I gotta look that up. Is his name Wingding?
Look up. No, it's WD. Well, technically, yeah, because it's WD. I think it's WG Gaster or something like that, or WD Gaster. So
that's pretty
he's
funny.
He's like kind of like a hidden, interesting, weird lore character to the game that's not relevant at all, but it's like if you come across him, it's super, super strange. Because there is a couple of randomized events like that in the game where it's like you just have like a 1 in 100 chance of like a door being in like a random hallway, and then there's something going on in there. Or there's like this one room that an animation only plays out if you're there on a certain day at a certain time of the year. It's like October 10th at like 6 p.m. or something like that. Like there's like an animation there, but it only happens if you're there at exactly that time in the real world time.
See, I like little things like that, because like you think they're like that's like a pointless waste of time, but just like that extra like care and like attention and like just extra heart to it is, I think that goes a long way, honestly.
Yeah, because I think the only mention of Gaster, if you don't have one of those random chances of running into him, is that like Grim Reaper in the boat that could take you from place to place. Did you ever use him or no?
I did use that to go. I went from the first place back to the first time I found it back to the snow area. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he has like a random chance of like talking about a character that speaks in Wingdings, and he's talking about that character they have like a super small chance of coming across. And then that character has a little bit of lore sprinkled into Alphys's side quest if you go for a pacifist run, because you go through like her whole laboratory and stuff. So there's so much stuff you could come across in this game. Like I said, normal run, true ending run. It like quadruples in size the amount of
yeah,
stuff
I feel like if
there.
I pull up like the Wikipedia, I'm gonna read like 2 paragraphs, and there's gonna be like 10 pages of like nonsense of like just lore and like other
just
stuff
what
I
you
just
haven't
didn't see.
seen yet. Mm-hmm.
That's really neat.
So it's worth it.
Well, now I'm wondering, like, when I get to Deltarune, like, am I gonna have to play that game through several times? Does that feel like the game that, like?
No, Deltarune, I do not think. Well, and you know what? Maybe I could be wrong because I played Deltarune with the knowledge of like how to get the true ending in Undertale, right? So it's like I kind of just tried to play it with that mindset of like, spare everything, try to be the nice guy, this, that, the other. But in Deltarune, you also have that option to kill everything, be a dick, fuck with everybody. So I'm curious how that'll carry over from chapter to chapter, because just based off of that and based on how long chapters 1 and 2 are, so there's gonna be 7 chapters. That means that one run through of the game is way longer than one run through of Undertale.
Yeah.
So I'm curious how that's gonna pan out in the end. Because, like I said, it's like TV season, so it's like there's good and bad endings to each chapter as well so far, which is interesting. So
yeah, I'm really interested to be a part of that. Like, if I get caught up and like, chapter 5 randomly drops one day and like everyone runs to their Switch or Steam Deck or whatever to go like play the new chapter of Deltarune. Like I'm looking forward to I'm already looking forward to that, having not actually played any of the game. I just think that'd be a cool experience to be a part of something like that.
Yeah, because I if I remember, I think chapter 2 was a shadow drop and it was very exciting. So like I don't remember that being announced. I think it just came out after like one of the anniversaries of either Undertale or Deltarune. So
that's super cool. Well, dang, I'm excited. I saw that the Switch 2 version of Deltarune has a special room. You see that? Apparently, there's some room in Chapter 3 or 4, and every version of the game has like, the Switch, PlayStation, Steam has this version of the room. But if you have a Switch 2, the room takes advantage of dual mouse mode. You do a dual mouse mode mini game. So funny. It's like a special made room just for the Switch 2 version of the game in dual mouse mode. That's awesome. I'm like, I want to try that.
That's awesome. Hell yeah. Yeah, when I played through Deltarune Chapter 1 and 2, I played Chapter 1 originally on PC, and then when they dropped Chapter 2, I played through Chapter 1 again and Chapter 2 on the Switch, so I'll be able to carry over my save data on Nintendo.
I didn't even... So, like, for the longest time... This shows how out of touch I was with Undertale and Deltarune. I thought that Deltarune was, like, in a beta phase. I didn't realize it was, like, an actual, like, released game. I thought it was, like, in beta, like, only on Steam or whatever. You couldn't even... Like, an early access is what I was picturing it as. Not, like, an actual game you could download on, like, the Switch or the PlayStation.
It's had a weird, inconsistent... kind of drop and release, for the first 2 chapters so far. So I could see why, if you weren't like a hardcore fan following it, why you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm excited. Do you have any other fun little nuggets you want to drop on me? Get me excited for Deltarune, or?
Oh, as long as you don't mind being here for a minute, I could talk about plenty of more stuff.
Of course. I'm running out of my rope of like things I know to talk about.
Okay. No, so one thing that I love is like we said, the game remembers, it saves in unconventional ways. It saves even when you don't save. It remembers things that choices you make and all that. Some stuff I love about the genocide route that's unique is when you get the true pacifist ending, if you want to do a playthrough again, you have to erase your save file, and the game lets you know, hey, you're truly erasing everything, like everything you did for these characters, their memories of what happened, all that. It's actually going away. It's going to forever. You want to do that? You sure? And you're like, well, it's just a video game, whatever. You do that. But if you do a genocide route, that permanently stays in your game forever, no matter what. So you could do a genocide route, and then you could do a pacifist route after, and your character will still be the piece of shit monster at the end of the game. It's very funny. So there's a part at the end of the pacifist route. So what happens is Tori will put you to bed. and that's how the game ends originally, the pacifist route. But if you did a genocide route before that, your character will, like, after the lights turn off, the lights will, like, their eyes will, like, open and be red, like if they were the evil character still. And then it has, like, a portrait of all the characters, but all their faces are exited out, like you killed them still anyway. So it's like your game is permanently tainted with that genocide route forever. It doesn't get rid of that, and I always thought that was a really interesting and fascinating.
Okay, now when you say permanently, there's got to be, like, if you, like, delete the game and, like, delete all save.
I'm sure there's some way, but
he doesn't have, like, your, like, IP address, and he's, like, beaming this back to, like forever. It's like
exactly.
You're tainted. Okay, so what happens then? You're saying if you do a genocide route, you can't get the pacifist ending after that?
No, you can, but it changes the ending of the pacifist route.
Okay, so you get the ending. It just, like, shows that you're still a monster deep down.
Yeah, which I always thought was really fun, that it, like, taints your save file in a way. I always thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
One thing you didn't get to experience because you were on your Switch, and I've always been an advocate for people who haven't played it before to play it on PC because of this, is once you get towards the end of the game when you fight Flowey and stuff, it starts saving with messing with the actual program on your computer, which is cool. Like, it changes the name of the program window, it changes your desktop icon, the game will automatically close itself and open itself back up, and all these other crazy interesting things. Yeah. It'll have, like, your reworked save file and stuff, so all that stuff I thought was cool and interesting, and especially, 2015, very novel for the time.
Sure, yeah.
Games weren't really doing stuff like that yet, not being that kind of meta, so I always thought that was interesting. It makes me sad because you also missed one great interaction with my friend Napstablook the Ghost. I always really loved Napstablook.
Napstablook?
Yeah, he's the sad little ghost that you probably killed in Toriel's Underground.
Yeah, well, actually, he says you can't kill me because I'm a ghost or something like that, and then
That's also true.
But he showed up a few times. I think he saved me at one point.
Did you ever go to his house? Did you go to his house?
I think so. That sounds familiar. I feel like I went to his house. But I don't remember.
Because I love when you go to his house. I had to look up the quote because I couldn't remember, but you go to his house and, you hang out with him for a bit. And he says, after a great meal, I like to lie on the ground and feel like garbage. It's a family tradition. And he just lays on the floor. And you can lay with him. And you, like, astral project, and your background's just space for a while. And this is really trippy music until you decide to get back up.
That's awesome.
And then, what else? I think I just saved a couple of my favorite quotes. I love in the beginning of the game, if you interact with a mirror, it just says, it's you.
It's you.
And then if you interact with the mirror at the end of the game, it says, despite everything, it's still you. I always really like that line.
Yeah.
One that always stuck with me.
Yeah.
On the genocide route,
that's a cool line.
If you go... I'm sorry?
That is a cool line. Despite everything, It's still you.
Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of people with that tattoo over the years, so... Yeah. I actually wanted to get it at 1.2, but I'm like, too many people have it now, so...
Real quick, I'm sorry, but you just remember... the most random video game tattoo I ever saw... so I'm sorry, you just brought this to my mind. I was at a Panda Express in the drive-thru, and the guy handed me my bag, and, like, on his forearm right here, he just had Doria, like Ganondorf's, like, Doria. He had it in, like, old English letters down his forearm.
Let's go.
And I was like, I'm sorry, sir. Does that say Doria, like Ganondorf? And he's just like, dude, you noticed? And I was like, of course I noticed. You just, like, handed me this bag, and he's like, Doria. Like, I was like, dude, that was the most random, like... But he had no other tattoos. He just had that, which that was awesome. Just like the most funny. Like, it wasn't like he had, like, full sleeves and that was, like, snuck in there. It was just literally just Doria and like old English letters. Anyway, but continue. I'm sorry.
What a baller!
I know.
No, you're okay. That's awesome. I also like the that sad mouse guy that works at the burger place. I like a lot of his dialogue.
Yes,
I don't know if you ever interacted with him.
I believe I did.
Like, when you try to sell him items, he looks like he wants to kill you, and he's just like, why are you trying to sell things to a burger shop?
Yeah.
And if you go there during a genocide route...
Yeah. I think I tried to sell to another shop, and they wouldn't buy from me. The two shop owners, I can't remember what they're called. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then if you go to him on a genocide route, he's not threatened by you at all, and he says, and I quote, I can't go to hell, I'm all out of vacation days. which is an amazing line.
That is pretty good.
And I also like when you talk to him and he smokes a cigarette and says, "I am 19 years old and I've already wasted my entire life." Just a great character.
It's just
Says a lot of good shit.
yeah.
But yeah, there's just so much to this game. There's so much unique dialogue and so many different outcomes. Everything about it's very special. Like I said, very clever. I think clever is the best way to describe the game. And again, we touched on it a bit, but the music is an absolute 10 out of 10. Every song is a banger. Every song can go on your playlist. It's all good. I actually own a physical copy of the Undertale soundtrack, and a lot of the songs have like notes from Toby Fox about his thought process when writing them. And one of the things that always stuck with me since I was very into writing music for a while. I haven't done it in a long time, but I like, and I don't remember the exact quote, but he says something where it's like a song doesn't have to be complicated to be good. He's like, there's a lot of really good, simple music, and that's what I aim for. And I was like, that's fair. Because you think about like the intro song, which I think is just called like Fallen Down, that plays during the like kind of intro cutscene, or the song Home that plays when you're in Toriel's house. It's like some of the best songs of that game are just like super simple, maybe like 2 or 3 instruments max, and they just sound incredible. They stick with you. And it's fantastic. He's a master class at making music.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to get into Deltarune and like see like new tracks. I'm sure I've missed tracks from Undertale also. I probably need to like listen to like a full playlist of all the songs in Undertale. Because I'm sure I missed some.
Yeah, because there's a good amount of songs that are unique to the genocide route as well too. So, and that's something that's also fascinating, is a lot of effort put into the genocide route when most people probably won't even do it, because
is
the average
Megalovania
person would feel bad, right?
is Megalovania only like the Sans fight?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's like the most famous song in the game. Like,
and it's something that most people probably never experienced from actually playing it. They've just heard it.
Yeah. That's why I think I assumed Sans was like the main character, because I was like, that song's really famous. I always see Sans. I just assumed it was like something you always run into.
There's a great song that's part of the soundtrack that's not in the game at all, and it's called the song that might play when you fight Sans. It is awesome. It sounds like it's straight out of Mega Man X. It's a really, really cool song. You should definitely listen to it after.
The song that might play when you fight Sans? Does it actually have like a small chance of happening?
No.
Oh, it's just...
I literally think it's part of the soundtrack just to, like, toy with you. Because you'd be like, oh, I played this whole game and I never fought Sans. But when you bought the game, I think the game... I don't know if it does, but I'm pretty sure the game either did or at some point came with the soundtrack if you bought it on Steam digitally.
Sure.
Because I remember I've just always had the soundtrack because of that. So I think that's literally just part of the soundtrack to, like, kind of toy with you a little bit, which is very funny.
Yeah, it's neat.
But yeah, there's so much to this game, so much optional stuff. It's one of the most replayable games of all time. The story is actually very sweet and heartfelt, especially if you do the passages route. Like I said, I don't want to spoil too much, because, whether you end up playing it or watching a Let's Play, just the way that you talk to me about Flowey, I know there's a ton of stuff that you don't know about this game, and that makes it very interesting for me, because I know everything that there is to know about this game. I'm one of those freaks. Yeah, there's tons and tons that you still have no idea. Flowey. There's more to Flowey, and it's interesting, it's sad, it's good, it's well written. It's just fantastic. One thing that this game does too, that I absolutely love, that is totally ripped out of Earthbound, and every RPG, or most RPGs, or more RPGs should do this, in my opinion, is after you beat the final boss, you could go through the entire world and talk to everybody, and everybody has a new, unique line to say. I've always loved that about Earthbound, and Undertale rips that from Earthbound, and I think that's perfect for this game. That's so dialogue heavy, and no conversation is wasted in Undertale. So I like that he added that as well.
That is neat. So you're saying my current save where I'm at right now, the boss is dead, and I can go talk to people?
No. Only for pacifists.
Only for pacifists. Okay, only for pacifists. Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, Undertale, it sounds cheesy, but I truly think that Undertale made me a better person. I feel like it made me more empathetic as a human being by the time I was done with it.
What does it say about me? I just was a dick to everybody.
if and when you experience the pacifist route, I think you'll understand what I mean by that. And it's tough because I hate talking about my top 10 favorite games of all time, only because I feel like there's so many games that I want to be in the top 10, but there's only 10 spots.
Yep.
So it's like Undertale. If I were to make a top 20, probably definitely in the top 20.
Sure.
But my top 10 is so solid and it hasn't changed in like probably
Mario
6 or 7
64,
years now
Mario
at this
Sunshine,
point. So
Diddy Kong Racing.
Mario 2 Japanese version.
Yeah,
Those are all my favorite games.
Yep.
But no, Undertale is definitely at the bare minimum a top 20. Depending on the day of the week, maybe it could sneak into my top 10. Because as I sit here and talk about it, I'm like, man, what an experience I'll never forget. It's one of the few games where it's like, I remember exactly where I was each time I played it. Like, I remember playing it for the first time in my local community college when I was waiting for my literature class to start in the afternoon. Like, stuff like that is like, so much of it's just vivid for me. I was playing it on my MacBook at the time. The people next to me were playing Magic the Gathering, and they were arguing because somebody tried to check somebody else's card and their hands were greasy with like the chicken from the food stand over there, and like it's just like very vivid, and I'm very nostalgic for it's almost 10 years ago now, so just for that time. Undertale will be 10 years old in September. It makes me want to throw up saying that.
Yeah, we're old and dying.
Can't come soon enough.
That's funny.
But yeah. I don't want to tuck your ear off forever. I think we went over a lot of the main points. I actually think it would be worth doing a follow-up.
Oh, that would be
part
so
two
fun,
to this.
actually.
Whether it be more related to Deltarune, or if we do a part 2 after you finish like a pacifist route of some kind, I'd totally be down to talk about it more when you have a bit more context for some of the greater kind of world building and plot points in the game. But yeah,
I think that'd be really fun. I think we should do that. I think after we both have gotten a experience of Deltarune chapters 1 through 4, and assuming I've also got more of the Undertale undercurrent as well. We should do a follow. We should do a follow up later in the year. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. I especially, I think I'm gonna have to play through Deltarune Chapter 1 and 2 again anyway, just because it's been so long, and I think I could use a refresher. But for some reason, Undertale is like, I think just because I lived in the Undertale world and fandom for so long,
it's ingrained in you.
Like so much of that game is just ingrained. It's like I remember so much of it that I didn't even realize. Like today, I went on YouTube and I watched the plot summary to be like, let me make sure I'm remembering all this stuff right. And I went through the plot summary, talk about all the different things, and like even some of the more like niche. I was like, oh yeah, I remember all this. I'm like, I remember who this character is, that character, their relation to this, why this happened, why that happened. I was like, none of it. It's imprinted on my brain for better or for worse. I could probably use that brain power and storage for much more important things, but
no,
it's all about Undertale
useless
lore.
Video game knowledge.
I swear I am one of the kings of useless video game knowledge. It's a curse.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun, Craig. I really appreciate you talking through this. It made me appreciate Undertale more. Like I really enjoyed the game. I'm happy I played it, but hearing someone who enjoyed the game and has lived the game as much as you, it makes me like the game more and want to get to experience it more. So this is fun.
Yeah, can't recommend it enough. If you end up diving deeper, I definitely don't think you'll regret it. It's one of a kind. Many people have tried to emulate it since then, but no one outdoes the GOAT.
Excellent. Well, I think that's where we'll probably call it then. I'm looking forward to Deltarune. Craig, I appreciate you talking with me. If you're still watching this video, go check out Craig's channel, Craig's Game Room, and then you have a Twitter. Do you have Instagram?
Yeah, but I don't use it too much.
So
but
Twitter,
you can follow me anyway.
Just start looking up Craig everywhere. You start following him everywhere.
Yeah, you'll find me. You'll find me.
But
I'm lurking.
I'm excited. Our next podcast on your channel. I think that'll be we will all have Switch 2s at that point. You, me, and Tyler will all have
Hopefully.
Switch 2s in hand.
I don't have a pre-order.
Sorry.
If I get lucky.
The Switch 2 will exist and will be available for purchase
Yes, at least 2/3 of the podcast will have it to talk about it.
I hope you have it as well. But
Me too. And we'll be ranking Nintendo consoles. So that'll just be a fun time anyway.
that will be a lot of fun, actually. I'm excited to talk about the
And
Virtual
we'll
Boy.
probably end up fighting a lot.
Virtual Boy dominance
Good,
is
so.
what will happen. But
I think our best episodes are the ones that we disagree on a lot of shit. So
yeah. But all right, cool. Well, that's all we got. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
take care.